Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshta Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay. So today we'll be taking Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 32. Let me share my screen and then we'll get started. Let me know when you see the screen. Just confirm. You can see it now, right?
Yes, Babuji.
Okay. We did this one, right? The Lord as Super Soul pervades all things. Just as fire permeates wood, and so he appears to be of many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. So I think did we do this? Does anyone remember? Or we didn't?
I will tell you. Wait. No.
I don't think we did this. No, we didn't. So
31 we did. Till 31 we did.
Yeah, right. So let's take the 32nd today. Yata hyavahito vahe darushva eka swa yonishu naneva bhati vishvatma bhuteshu cha tatha bhuman. Translation: The Lord, as Super Soul, pervades all things just as fire permeates wood, and so he appears to be of many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by one of his plenary parts, expands himself all over the material world, and his existence can be perceived even within the atomic energy. So who can tell me how Krishna expands, in which form he expands all over the material world? Who can tell me?
I can tell Baba.
Other than me,
Bhagwan?
anyone? What?
Bhagwan?
What do you mean by Bhagavan? Yes, Vasudeva is Bhagavan, Krishna is Bhagavan, but in what form he comes to this material world? How he expands in this material world? Don't guess. If you know, you know. Anyone else? We have discussed this like more than 20 times now. How does Krishna... Okay, how is Krishna in this material world? Who can tell me? How do we know that Krishna is in the material world? In what form? No one.
Through his form of energy as Paramatma in Kankan.
Yes, right. And then what is the first form that is in contact with this material world? Which form of Krishna?
It is Karnodaka.
Yes. It is Karnodaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So we have done this so many times. The Purusha avatars. I have told you so many times that this spiritual world, and from here the material world begins. Haven't I told you so many times? The whole lineage, how Krishna expands into Balram, and Balram expands into Mool Sankarshan, then Mool Sankarshan expands into Mahasankarshan, then there is Chaturvyu formation, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh, then there is second Chaturvyu formation, and after that there is the three Purusha avatar, and from here the material world begins. So we have discussed this so many times, almost in all my lectures. When I take in temple, I begin my lecture with this. I'm surprised. How is it that you don't know? So it's Mahavishnu, Karanadakshay Vishnu, through which Krishna comes into the contact of material world, and then Mahavishnu glances over Prakriti. And then there is this contact, isn't it? And then he further incarnates into Garbhodak Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and then Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So please remember all these things. This is not just entertainment movie going on that you come and you forget and then you are blank next time. So please remember these things when I ask you for the next time. Okay? Matter, antimatter, proton, neutron, etc. are all different effects of the Paramatma feature of the Lord. As from wood, fire can be manifested, or as butter can be churned out of milk, so also the presence of the Lord as Paramatma can be felt by the process of legitimate hearing and chanting of the transcendental subjects, which are especially treated in the Vedic literatures like the Upanishads and Vedanta. So it was so simple. How do we feel the presence of Krishna? Krishna is sitting inside our hearts as Paramatma. Who can tell me, other than Girdhar Prabhu, who is Paramatma? Which feature of Krishna is Paramatma? Who can tell me?
Vishnu.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. It's Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So please remember. Yeah, please remember everyone. It's Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Kshirodakshay Vishnu is the Paramatma form. He is Paramatma. Okay? So Krishna expands into Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu expands into Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Garbhodakshay Vishnu expands into Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And that Kshirodakshay Vishnu is the Paramatma. Okay? So Garbhodakshay Vishnu is the father, mother of Lord Brahma. And then Lord Brahma creates everyone. Ankur Prabhu, can you please mute yourself?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I will.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So, and Lord Brahma creates us, all the Jeev, that is the secondary creation. And after that, the Garbhodakshay Vishnu further expands inside our hearts as Paramatma, and that Paramatma is called as Kshirodakshay Vishnu, or Kshirodakshay Vishnu is called as Paramatma. So please make notes of all these things. These are very basic questions. Everyone must know the answer by now because we are in the later, like we are in the first canto, but still we have covered so much actually, the basics. Okay, so where were we? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the bona fide explanation of these Vedic literatures. The Lord can be realized through the oral reception of the transcendental message, and that is the only way to experience the transcendental subject. As fire is kindled from wood by another fire, the divine consciousness of man can similarly be kindled by another divine grace. His divine grace, the spiritual master, can kindle the spiritual fire from the wood-like living entity by imparting proper spiritual messages injected through the receptive ear. Therefore, one is required to approach the proper spiritual master with receptive ears only, and thus divine existence is gradually realized. The difference between animality and humanity lies in this process only. A human being can hear properly, whereas an animal cannot. So you and I, we can hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita from our spiritual masters, from senior Vaishnavas, but unfortunately the animals, they don't have this luxury. And that is a difference. So in other words, the people who are not even after getting human form of life, they are not turning towards scriptures, they are just leading an animalistic life. Okay. Let's move to the next verse, 1 to 33. Asagunamaya bhavair bhuta sukshmendriyatmabhi svanirmiteshu nirvishto bhunkate bhuteshu tadgunan. Translation: the super soul enters into the bodies of the created beings who are influenced by the modes of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effects of these modes by the subtle mind. There are 8.4 million species of living beings beginning from the highest intellectual being Brahma down to the insignificant ant, and all of them are enjoying the material world according to the desires of the subtle mind and gross material body. Okay, so this is the combination. How that our subtle mind, who can tell me what is the subtle body? Other than Giriraj Prabhu and Ankut Prabhu, who can tell me what is the subtle body?
Mind, ego, intelligence.
Yeah. Mind, intelligence and false ego. That is the subtle body. And then what is the material body made up of, or the gross body? Who can tell me?
Panch Tattva, fire,
Yeah.
air, water.
Yeah. Fire, air, water, ether and
Earth, fire,
earth.
earth. I thought
Okay.
water. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the 5 elements. Now what happens is that the subtle body, mind, he desires. And the gross body enjoys. Isn't it? The mind desires that I want to eat gulab jamun. And who takes the action? The hand. It will pick up the gulab jamun and it will place the gulab jamun inside the mouth in the tongue. And then the tongue is going to taste it. So this is the combination, right? So let's read again. And all of them are enjoying the material world according to the desires of the subtle mind and gross material body. The gross material body is based on the conditions of the subtle mind. And the senses are created according to the desire of the living being. The Lord as Paramatma helps the living being to get material happiness because the living being is helpless in all respects in obtaining what he desires. He proposes and the Lord disposes. In another sense, the living beings are parts and parcels of the Lord. They are therefore one with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, the living beings in all varieties of bodies have been claimed by the Lord as his sons. The sufferings and enjoyments of the sons are indirectly the sufferings and enjoyments of the Father. Still, the Father is not in any way affected directly by the suffering and enjoyment of the sons. He is so kind that he constantly remains with the living being as Paramatma and always tries to convert the living being towards the real happiness. Very deep, isn't it? We have desires and we want to act on those desires. But the problem is that we are helpless. We can't do anything without Krishna. We can't take a single breath without Krishna. Because when the time is up, Krishna leaves our body. The Paramatma leaves our body. And the soul cannot live without Paramatma. So as soon as Paramatma leaves, the soul leaves. And the body is dead. So we cannot even take a single breath without Krishna. What to think of doing anything? I am speaking to you, you are hearing, all Krishna's mercy. Right? Anything we do, anything we can think of is all because of Krishna. Krishna can put us in coma, Krishna can kill us, Krishna can make us happy, Krishna can do anything. All the energy that we are getting to do anything is because of Krishna. The only thing that Krishna does not interfere is our mind and our desires. He never interferes. He does interfere only when there is a devotee. And how he interferes? He interferes the lives of devotees through the scriptures. So if Krishna has to interfere in my life, if I am trying to be a devotee, but at the same time, if I am doing something wrong, then Krishna will speak to me through the scriptures. This is how he is going to influence me. Other than that, he never interferes in our mind, with our mind and with our desires. Okay? Everything else belongs to Krishna. That is the first thing. And then we are all sons of Krishna. And Krishna is sad whenever we are sad. Even in the Muslim, I think it's in Quran. It might be in Quran because they say that Allah has the heart of, I think they quote a number, so many mothers. So Allah is as merciful as so many mothers clubbed together. So even in that religion, so just imagine that how much merciful Krishna is. Every time we cry, Krishna cries with us. Every time we laugh, we are happy. Krishna laughs, Krishna is happy with us. Because he is sitting as Paramatma inside our heart. And he knows us the best. And the thing is that no one can love us like Krishna. Why? Because our relationship is only until we have this body. So I am your friend only till I have this body and you have this body. But after I quit this body, I don't know you, you don't know me, because I don't know what's my next destination, which planet, which form of life. I don't know, and you don't know either. And we wouldn't know each other in our next lives. But Krishna knows everything. Krishna will accompany us. If we go to the higher planets, he is with us. If we go to the hellish planets, still he is with us. Every time that we are getting tortured, Krishna feels that pain. But when the child feels the pain, the father might be unhappy, but it does not physically affect the father, isn't it? So similarly, Krishna is connected with us, and at the same time, he is not physically affected, but yeah, he also feels the same emotion that we go through. Okay? And yeah, he constantly remains with us as Paramatma, and he tries to convert the living being towards the real happiness through these scriptures. Okay? Let's move to the next verse, 1 to 34. भाव्ययेषा सत्त्वेन लोकान्वय लोकभावनः लीलावतारणोरतो देवतिर्यां naradishu. Thus the Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, men and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. So Giriraj Prabhu, all of you can raise your hands if you want to recite the verses, and based on the sequence of the hands, Giriraj Prabhu can just call out the name. So be ready before. Just raise your hands now if you want to read the next verse, so that we don't waste the time. Okay? Perfect. So there are innumerable material universes, and in each and every universe, there are innumerable planets inhabited by different grades of living entities and different modes of nature. So this thing is clear in the purport of Prabhupada. Multiverse. There are innumerable material universes. This is not being spoken about a planet. This is being spoken about universes. Through each pole of Mahavishnu, there is a universe manifesting. And each universe, each and every universe, there are innumerable planets. And in those planets, there are different grades of living entities in different modes of nature. So the whole material world is only based on the three modes of nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. These three modes are called Prakriti, nature, or Maya. Okay? And the complete universe, the complete material world is only revolving around these three modes. Now, second thing is there are innumerable universes, innumerable, because We cannot count the pores in our body. It's impossible to count the pores. So just imagine the pores in the body of Mahavishnu. And through each pore, there is a universe that comes out, and in each universe, there is innumerable planets, and on each planet, there are living entities. And this whole material world is only 25% estimated population. 75% is in the spiritual world. So just imagine how vast. Our earth only has how much? I guess 7 billion or 8 billion, some 7.5 to 8 billion only. There are Ananta Koti Jeev actually. Yeah. The Lord Vishnu incarnates himself in each and every one of them and in each and every type of living society. He manifests his transcendental pastimes amongst them just to create the desire to go back to Godhead. The Lord does not change his original transcendental position, but he appears to be differently manifested according to the particular time, circumstances, and society. Jagannath told that I don't manifest as deities to prove to the atheists that I am God. I manifest in the wooden form to have loving relationship with my devotees. Similarly, Krishna keeps on doing this pastime not to prove that he is God. He keeps on doing the pastime so that our mind would be captivated by him. And in some life, we will turn towards him and we will go back to Godhead. That is the only purpose, because he is our best friend. Sohridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. And he wants the best for us. So trust me when I say this, that whatever we are going through in our life, Krishna has calculated all the probabilities and he is giving us the best according to him. So today we might not understand that why is it that we are not getting abundance of money or fame or a living, a very comfortable living or whatever it is. It may not go according to our plan, but in the end it is all going to make sense that it was for the better and there could not have been any better solution. Because we are all, what we say, we are all reaping the fruits of our past action actually. And based on that, Krishna chooses the best path so that we can progress spiritually. Yeah. Sometimes he incarnates himself or empowers a suitable living being to act for him, but in either case the purpose is the same. The Lord wants the suffering living beings to go back home, back to Godhead. The happiness which the living beings are hankering for is not to be found within any corner of the innumerable universes and material planets. And we will all, I hope not, but in my case, I learned this the hard way and I'm still learning. Because there is always this hope that I will become happy if I eat ice cream today. I will become happy if it happened, if that happened. But that is never going to happen because happiness is nowhere to be found in this material world. It is the happiness that we think is only the absence of sorrow. That is the only definition of happiness of this material world. Dukhalay ashashvatam. Okay? So it is going to take time, but I hope all of us learn this thing or stop hankering after happiness, because you will not find happiness. Temporarily, you would feel that you are happy, but you are not happy actually. It is just the absence of sorrow. That's the only happiness that you are going to get. We are going to get. The eternal happiness which the living being wants is obtainable in the kingdom of God. but the forgetful living beings under the influence of the material modes have no information of the kingdom of God. The Lord therefore comes to propagate the message of the kingdom of God, either personally as an incarnation or through his bona fide representative as the good Son of God. Such incarnations or sons of God are not making propaganda for going back to Godhead only within the human society. Their work is also going on in all types of societies among demigods and those other than human beings. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, second chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Divinity and Divine Service. So what does the last line mean? Once Prabhupada asked, they were going through some place, and then Prabhupada said that you should all chant loudly. Why, Prabhupada? Because the trees and the grass, they will all get liberated. And then his disciples, they went to the forest and they started chanting loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. They took this to their heart and they started chanting loudly so that all the trees and all the grass and every plant, animal, insect, birds could hear this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so that in their next life they will all become humans and they will get the platform to chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So these elevated souls, the Gurujans, they are not only working for the human society, but as Prabhupada mentioned here, also for the demigods and also for the other societies. Next verse. Okay, so we are in the third chapter now. Title, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Next one. Who is going to read this?
Raman Mataji.
Sut Uvach. Jakrihi Purusham Rupam Bhagwan Hadidibhi Sambhutam Shodashakalmado Loksi Shirishaya. Translation. Sutta said, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first there was the creation of the 16 principles of material action. This was for the purpose of creating the material universes.
Thank you. So in the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself. Who? Krishna. In the universal form of the Purush incarnation. What is the Purush incarnation? Who can tell me? Please raise your hands. What are the Purush incarnation?
The male incarnation.
No. What, Prabhuji? Male incarnation? No.
Form? Is the male form? Is it?
All the form is male, Prabhu. But what is it? I just told you in the beginning of the lecture. What are the Purush incarnation? Anyone else?
That three Purusha.
Yeah, three Purush. Who are they?
Mahavishnu, Shri Daksha Vishnu, and
Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Yes. So how can you forget? I just told 10 minutes back. These are the three Purush incarnations, right? Okay, and all ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first, there was the creation of the 16 principle of material action that we're going to study. This was the purpose of creating the material universe. Let's see the purport. The Bhagavad Gita states that the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna maintains these material universes by extending his plenary expansions. So, this Purush form is the confirmation of the same principle. The original personality of Godhead Vasudeva, or Lord Krishna, who is famous as the son of King Vasudeva or King Nand, is full with all opulences, all potencies, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge and all renunciation. This is not just something scribbled. Remember, these are the 6 things that define God. How do we know who is Bhagavan? What is the definition of Bhagavan? Shad Ashwarya. Shad means 6. Ashwarya means opulence. the personality who has 6 opulence in totality, in full, that person is called God. What are the 6 opulence? The 6 opulences: all potencies, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation. What else is missing here? Who can tell me?
Wealth.
Fame, beauty, yes. Yeah, so that is opulences. So that's opulence is wealth, potency means energy, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. And when, who gave this definition? Who can tell me? Parasharmani. And what did they find out after reading all the scriptures? Only one person who has all these, and who is that?
Krishna.
Krishna. Yes, it's only Krishna who has all 6, none other than Krishna. And that is why Krishna is only Bhagwan.
Krishna is the Bhagwan Swayam.
Yes. So again, remember these 6 things. I will ask again. All wealth, all energy, all fame. So that first one is all opulence means wealth. Second one is all strength. Third is fame. Fourth is beauty. Fifth is knowledge. And sixth is renunciation. Make a note because I am going to ask. So today we learned that there are 3 Purusha avatars. Mahavishnu, the first point of contact of this material world. From him comes Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Lord Brahma is born of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu, who is the localized Paramatma form. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu is called Paramatma. These are the 3 Purush avatars of Krishna. That is the first thing we learned today. The second thing we learned today is that Bhagavan has Shad Aishwarya, 6 Aishwarya. And what are those? He has all rich, all wealth. The second is he has all strength. Third is he has all fame. Fourth is he has all beauty. Fifth is he has all knowledge. And sixth is he has all renunciation. Okay? Okay, moving on. A part of his opulence is manifested as impersonal Brahman, and a part of his opulence is manifested as Paramatma. Now, the third thing to learn today is Krishna can be realized in 3 forms. What are those 3 forms? The first is Brahman, the second is Paramatma, and the third is Bhagavan. Okay? We have done this many times, but when the time comes here, we will also discuss again. So these are the 3 forms in which Krishna can be realized. So a part of his opulence is manifested as impersonal Brahman, and a part of his opulence is manifested as Paramatma. This Purush feature of the same personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, is the original Paramatma, manifestation of the Lord. There are 3 Purush features in the material creation, and this fourth, who is known as the Karanodakshaya Vishnu, is the first of the 3. Okay? This Karanodakshaya Vishnu is also called Mahavishnu. Karanodakshaya. Karan means cause. Karanodakshaya. And Dakshaya means that he is sleeping in Yoga Nidra. Karanodakshaya Vishnu is the first, also known as Mahavishnu. The Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu, which we shall know one after another. The innumerable universes are generated from the skin holes of this Karanodakshaya Vishnu, and in each one of the universes the Lord enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay? So from this Mahavishnu, again I will tell you, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Adi Purush is Govind, Krishna. Krishna has many incarnations, but when we have to understand this, so let's go with Lord Balram, who is the first incarnation, from the right hand side of Krishna. From the left comes the Tattva, Shakti Tattva, that is Radharani. But we will go to the Balram Tattva here. So then we have Balramji. And when Lord Balram has to serve Krishna in Golok Vrindavan Dham, in Braj Bhumi, Vrindavan, then he remains as Balaram. When Lord Balaram has to serve Krishna outside of Vrindavan but still in Golok, so Golok has different planets. What are those planets? There is Vrindavan, there is Mathura, there is Gokul, and there is Shvetadvip. That is Mayapur or Navadvip. So when Balram ji has to serve Krishna in Golok but outside of Vrindavan, he assumes the form of Mool Sankarshan. And then when Lord Balram has to serve Krishna outside of Golok but within Vaikunt, so within Vaikunt there are innumerable planets like Narsimha Lok, Vaman Lok, Saket Dham, where Lord Ram resides, innumerable planets. So when he has to serve Krishna in these planets, he then incarnates as Mahasankarshan. Okay? And then there are various incarnations that ultimately comes down to the Chaturbhu formation. That is Vasudev, Sankarshan. So this Sankarshan only assumes the four forms. The Mahasankarshan assumes the four forms. What are those? Vasudev, Sankarshan, Anirudh, and Pradyumna. And these four incarnate as Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna. Then there is a second Chaturbhu expansion from the Sankarshan. And again the second Chaturbhu is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. And again from this Sankarshan comes out Mahavishnu or Karanodakshai Vishnu. And this Mahavishnu or Karanodakshai Vishnu, from his each pore, when he breathes one time, he takes one breath. So there are, from his each pore, there is a universe that comes out. And within each universe, he incarnates as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, within each universe. And in all the universe, the Garbhodakshai Vishnu gives birth to Lord Brahma. So there is a lotus sprouting from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And Lord Brahma, he is born. And there are different Brahmas. Our Brahmaji is four-headed. In some universe, there is 10-headed Brahma. In some universe, there is 100-headed Brahma. In some universe, there is million-headed Brahma. Okay? Then in each universe, Lord Brahma, he then creates he does the secondary creations. And he has 8.4 million probabilities. So based on our desire, if my desire is to just swim, so then he will take the best probability and he will say, okay, he will enter my desire into his computer and the outcome will come, okay, you can become, if I am very friendly, I will become dolphin. If I am a predator, I will become shark. And then I will become different kinds of fish based on my desire and the probability, and also based on my mode. So all Lord Brahma needs to do, he did some coding in this matrix, and then he puts our desires into that coding, and the outcome comes that, okay, this person needs to become a female, this person needs to become a demigod, this person needs to become an ant, and then after that, the process takes place. After he has created all the Jeev based on the 8.4 million probabilities, still we don't work. So he did the coding, our desires went inside, and then what happened is, it came out, the result came out that, okay, Abhay Giriraj Das needs to become a human on Earth planet in a place called India. But still after that, I was not active. So Lord Brahma goes to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and he says, there is a glitch in my programming. What is the glitch? I did the coding. Everything is as per the instruction. I read your Java, C++, everything. I did my coding, but still my program is not running. There is a bug. So then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu says, there is no bug actually. You forgot one thing. And he said, I did not give you in that manual. That thing is that now I will take a further incarnation and I will enter the heart of Abhay Giriraj Das as Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu. And then he will become activated. And this is exactly what happened. And after that, life after life after life after life, this process keeps on going on from one species to the other species. We have been in all the species. And this is called a matrix or Mayajal. Okay? So these are the three Vishnus. Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and then Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also mentioned that the material world is created at certain intervals and then again destroyed. This creation and destruction is done by the Supreme Will because of the conditioned souls or the Nitya-Baddha living beings. The Nitya-Baddha or the eternally conditioned souls have the sense of individuality or ahankar, which dictates to them sense enjoyment, which they are unable to have constitutionally. So what does it mean? Is that this material world is created and destroyed in one day of Lord Brahma. So the 12 hours of Brahma is called one kalp, and in every kalp, this whole creation is done, the material creation, and in the night, everything is destroyed. There is a pralaya. And then everything is destroyed, and we all go inside the body of Mahavishnu and we sleep for 12 hours of Lord Brahma. And then again Lord Brahma wakes up the next day and the whole process is again started, the creation process. And then it goes on and on and on. Until we have ahankar, mithya. Mithya ahankar means false ego. We will be in this material world. And the whole process of the scriptures is to transform our false ego into true ego. The false ego is, I am this body, I am Irish, I am Indian, I am female, I am male. This is false ego. The day it transforms into I am soul, not just theoretically, but in reality. We see everyone as part and parcel of Krishna. We see ourselves as energy of Krishna, soul. So the mithya ahankar or the false ego is transformed into true ego. And this whole matrix is gone. And we go back to Godhead. This is the complete game. Okay? So the ahankar dictates to them sense enjoyment, which they are unable to have constitutionally. The Lord is the only enjoyer, and all others are enjoyed. The living beings are predominated enjoyers, but the eternally conditioned souls, forgetful of this constitutional position, have strong aspirations to enjoy. The chance to enjoy matter is given to the conditioned souls in the material world, and side by side they are given the chance to understand their real constitutional position. Those fortunate living entities who catch the truth and surrender unto the lotus feet of Vasudeva after many births in the material world join the eternally liberated souls and thus are allowed to enter into the kingdom of Godhead. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sammahatma sudurlabham. After many births and deaths, someone finally comes to the platform of understanding, or they try to understand Krishna, and they do bhakti. And what happens is that they will join the eternally liberated souls and would be allowed to enter into the kingdom of Godhead. After this, such fortunate living entities need not come again within the occasional material creation. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Once you go there, you will never come back. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15.7. But those who cannot catch the constitutional truth are again merged into the Mahat Tattva at the time of the annihilation. What is Mahat Tattva? The elements, the 16 elements, the 24 elements that we studied in Bhagavad Gita and will study in. So these all comes from Mahavishnu. So in one sense, this Mahat Tattva is Mahavishnu. So we all go inside the body of Mahavishnu. So truth are again merged into the Mahat Tattva at the time of the annihilation of the material creation. When the creation is again set up, second day of Brahma, this Mahat Tattva is again let loose. This Mahat Tattva contains all the ingredients of the material manifestations, including the conditioned souls. So as we discussed, the basics is the three mode of nature. Then it's us, the five gross body, earth, air, water, fire, ether. Then we have the subtle body, mind, intelligence, false ego. Then we have soul, super soul. These are 10. Then the three modes of nature are 13. Then we have the sense, acquiring senses, that is touch, feel, smell, all those things. So these all come up to the 24 elements. This is all inside. We all go inside Mahat Tattva, that is Mahavishnu, and again in the second day of creation, everything is released back to the Prakriti, this material world. So primarily, this Mahat Tattva is divided into 16 parts, namely the 5 gross material elements and the 11 working instruments or senses. It is like the cloud in the clear sky, in the spiritual sky. The effulgence of Brahman is spread all around, and the whole system is dazzling in spiritual life. The Mahat Tattva is assembled in some corner of the vast, unlimited spiritual sky, and the part which is thus covered by the Mahat Tattva is called the material sky. This part of the spiritual sky, called the Mahat Tattva, is only an insignificant portion of the whole spiritual sky. And within this Mahat Tattva, there are innumerable universes. All these universes are collectively produced by the Karanodakshaya Vishnu, called also the Mahavishnu, who simply throws his glance to impregnate the material sky. Here, what is Mahat Tattva? So the 16 elements, we will study that. The 16 elements, here it is written, are the 5 gross material elements. What are those? Earth, air, water, fire, ether. And then the 11 working instruments or senses. So the things that are associated, like hand, then we have legs, we have eyes, we have nose, we have ears, and then we have genitals, anus, and then we have other things as well. So these all are 16, and these are called Mahat Tattva. And when these things are combined with the modes of nature, then the whole creation takes place. And where is this? So this is all in a part called Mahat Tattva, that is in the spiritual sky. And that is actually the body of Mahavishnu. It is very complex, but just for the sake of understanding, let's say that it is in the body of Mahavishnu. Okay? So I will stop here and open the floor for question and answer. Okay? Else it will get too complex. Just let me know if you have any question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Amritya.
Hare Krishna.
I had a simple question. Like Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the one who created our universe, right? The universe we are living in.
No, Mahavishnu, Prabhu.
Mahavishnu, yeah, but Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is currently the one who is maintaining, right?
Right, yes.
Exactly. So in that we are on Guloka. Okay, Guloka.
Goloka, yes.
Exactly. And in Guloka we have all the planets. Okay, so who is mainly responsible for creation of this Loka? Is that goes to Mahavishnu, or is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu responsible for it?
It's Lord Brahma who is responsible. Okay? So, from Mahavishnu, all the universes, the structure is there, okay? The structure comes from Mahavishnu. Then in that structure, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters. So how it works is that the half portion, let's say the universe is round, globe, okay? So the half portion is filled with water.
Okay.
So the portion where Mahavishnu is there, it is filled with Karan water. So the Sagar, the ocean, is called Karan Sagar. And that is why it's called Karano Dakshai, because he's sleeping on the ocean of cause. Okay. Then after that, from each of his port comes universe, that is a structure. And again, that structure is circular, okay? And that half is filled with water, and that half is filled with Garbhodak water. Garbha means it is, I think, pasina. Of whom? Of Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So that is filled with his perspiration. And then from his navel comes the lotus flower. On the top of the lotus flower, Lord Brahma is born. But now that flower and the stem is just the outer structure. There is nothing inside. Now Lord Brahma does tapasya for millions of years. And after tapasya, then he starts creating. So the planet is created by Lord Brahma. Okay, all the jivas, the planet, it is all created by Lord Brahma.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, Brahma. Yeah. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Who else? Any other question?
Is it 99 mothers?
No, it's not 99. I think 80 or something they say. I have heard it, but I can't exactly recall how much mothers. Yeah.
Prabhuji,
Okay.
can I have a question?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I will ask in Hindi, Prabhuji.
Okay.
On my initial day of classes, I just need to be correction of this question. God has three forms, like in Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Right, Prabhuji?
God can be realized in these three features. Yes.
Realized, okay. So Brahman, as you told me like that, Brahman, those are yogis. They think that God is Brahm Jyoti, formless, Shunya.
No. Mayavadis. The yogis, Paramatma feature. They meditate on the Paramatma feature. The Mayavadis, the Nirvisheshvadi, they meditate on the Brahma Jyoti feature.
Mayavadi, okay. And those are the Bhakt Jnani, they pray for Bhagwan, right?
You are being confused. Bhakt and Jnani are two different things, Mataji. Jnani or the yogis, they meditate on Paramatma. Bhakt, Bhakt, the devotees, they tend towards Bhagwan.
Okay,
so they pray to Bhagwan.
Okay, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, last year I had one class by the Akrur Prabhuji, and he asked that time, suddenly I went in the class, so he asked from all the public that who is Paramatma. Then he defined that Paramatma is like Shivji is Paramatma and Bhagwan is Krishna, right? Is it like that?
Who said that?
One of the mentor, like that.
No, that's not true. Prabhupada is writing again and again that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu is Paramatma. Didn't you just read? Prabhupada is writing. Did he write Shiv? He did not write Shiv, right? It's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu who is Paramatma. Yeah. So don't get confused.
Okay. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu, we can say that he is Paramatma, right?
Yes.
And Bhagwan definition is Krishna. And you gave
Bhagwan
one
is Krishna.
example that if I stolen something and the who's played the role of a judge, he is Paramatma, and who's played the role of a father is Bhagwan.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So if somebody's asked me who is Paramatma, what is the difference between Paramatma and Bhagwan? Paramatma is like, I will tell the whole Shirodaksha Vishnu is the Paramatma, but by example, I will define that if you stone something like that, if you punish by the judge, then he is Paramatma, and who's play like your father, he will like that, oh, don't do this again and all these things. That is Bhagwan. Right, that's the correct one.
Yes, it's the same person, Mataji, okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
It's the same Krishna who is playing different roles as Paramatma is Bhagwan. It's the same person, okay? I am sitting and I'm talking to you as a devotee. Then I am a son. I am a brother. I am an employee of my organization. But I am the same person, isn't it? So it's the same person who becomes Paramatma, who becomes Bhagwan, who becomes Brahman, who becomes Ram, who becomes Vaman. It's the same person. Does not change. It's very simple.
Prabhuji, if I can add something.
Yes.
Yes, so I heard this example, so it's relevant. So you can understand it like this, that so there is a director of the movie, and the director is also the producer, and the director is also acting in the movie, so he's also actor. So it's not just multiple roles, but also like Krishna is acting as Paramatma, and then he's also Bhagwan. So
can I say one thing? Chaitanya Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's funny. You always say the same thing that I say. So remember in our last class, didn't I say the same thing?
Yes.
The director. Yeah.
One more. It's the same.
Krishna and Narayan.
Yeah, you gave this example.
Same example.
So no, I mean, if we were sitting in like face to face, this would have been a very funny incident. Because every time when Chaitanya Prabhu says, can I add? And I know that he will say the same thing that I have just said. And it's really funny. Anyways. Yeah, no. I'm just, every time I'm waiting, is it something new? Is it something new? It's the same thing. But anyways, fine, no problem. Okay. Yeah, anything else to add, Chaitanya Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji, that was it.
Okay. ठीक है.
प्रभु जी एक रिक्वेस्ट थी.
Yeah.
जो भी आपने बताया ना कि ये कल्प है 12 आवर्स में होता है फिर ऐसे आता है मतलब मैं समझ तो रही हूँ पर मेरे को थोड़ी कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है. इसका फ्लो चार्ट मिल सकता है?
हाँ प्रभु जी वही हाल मेरा भी है. मैं सुनती तो हूँ लेकिन मेरे ऊपर से उड़ जाता है.
मेरे को आ तो रहा है समझ में पर मेरे को लगेगा बहुत टाइम लगेगा मेरे को ये, क्योंकि मुझे अगर किसी को बताना होगा ना तो मैं खुद कंफ्यूज हो जाऊँ. तो मैं फ्लो चार्ट से
No, so when we will start Chaitanya Charitamrita classes in the temple, we will use whiteboard and marker. So there we will make all the flow charts. You come, you sit, you take notes. Okay? Yeah. Okay, yes. Amit Prabhu, another question?
Yes, Prabhu. You said about the Mahat Tattva in the last verse, right?
Right.
And in the Mahat Tattva, you said that the sky, the purport says that the sky is covered with Karnadaksha Vishnu?
No. So it said that there are two skies, right? There is a material sky and then there is a spiritual sky. This Mahavishnu is in the spiritual sky. Okay? And when Mahavishnu comes in contact with Prakriti, this is where the material sky starts. Okay? So this Mahat Tattva is in the, it goes every time when there is an annihilation, the 12 hours of Brahma, after those 12 hours, it goes back to the spiritual sky, that is Mahavishnu's body, Mahat Tattva. It remains there for 12 hours in a sleeping slumber state, so Shupta Sthiti, and after those 12 hours, it again comes back to the material sky. So understand it this way. I have told you that there are two eyes of Lord Vishnu, and through two eyes, what happens is from one of the eyes comes Kal, that is time, and from the other eyes, all of us come Jeev. How? Because as Mahat Tattva, we are sleeping inside his body. Okay? And every time when we have to come to this material world for our karmas, to do our karma, so we are transferred from the eyes of Mahavishnu inside the womb of Mother Durga, that is this material world. And that is why she is called Durga, because Durga means fort, gad, jail. And we are all inside that jail, and that is why we are all under the clutches of Maya, Durga Devi. Now does it make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So this is all PhD level topic. So you all are very lucky.
I've only studied to the point where I've only studied to the point where the our sky, the material sky, like I'm talking about the sky of the Bhuloka, okay, and the Bhuloka. So when it meets, when these two lokas meet, in between also there is the Akash Tattva, okay. Now this I'm talking from a little bit different, and then
I understand what you're talking about.
and beyond that, because
every universe there is a covering of the elements: earth, air, water, fire, ether. So you have to transcend all these to be able to go to the higher lok. Okay, that's why Prabhupada said that no one can go to the moon planet because it is a celestial planet. It is one of the Graha Nakshatra. Okay, exactly. and there is a inhabitants living over there. It is Somadev who is the king of that moon planet, and there are people living. You cannot bypass the nature. You have to transcend it, and that's what you are talking about. The elements that you have to transcend.
Yeah, because in that sky of Gurloka resides the Nakshatra Mandala, which is Jyotish. Yeah. So I was just confused between material sky and so.
If you have to study this more detailed, you start with Shishumar. Okay.
Shishumar. So is the name of the book?
No. Shishumar is the radius. You know that the starting point is the Meru Parvat. Naimisharanya, Meru Parvat, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then there is a diameter of all the Graha and Nakshatra. Yeah. In the straight line where there is Dhruva Tara and everything, the North Star, Proxima Centauri. So this radius, Prabhuji, is called Shishumar, on which all the Graha and Nakshatra revolves. That is an invisible line. So if you will study that deeply, I don't know if it's in your astrology course, but if you study that very deeply, you will be able to calculate everything perfectly, because that is the imaginary line on which everything is dependent.
Yes, because I actually got this book a couple of months back by Richard Thompson, Das, who was initially Bhashila Prabhupada himself, and Prabhupada had instructed him to translate the 5th canto for Jyotishis.
Yes, so that is in the 5th canto. Second canto, 3rd canto, 5th canto. We are going to study this. It's very, very interesting actually.
So I only read the initial introduction. I did not read the whole book. So maybe once I read the book, I'll know more.
No, but we will do this. We will do this in detail in our lectures as well.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, please. Yeah.
A good example of where the material material planet meets the spiritual side is when Krishna was the king in Dwarka, right? And there was a Brahmin who, as soon as the baby was born, his wife died immediately, and the Brahmin went to Krishna asking why this happened, and this happened 9 times, and then it happened and Krishna didn't do anything, and on the 10th time, Arjuna took the matter up and decided to investigate as to why this was happening.
Yeah, he went to meet Mahavishnu.
Yeah, and then where he got him to get onto the silver chariot, gave him divine vision, and they went to the very end, and Mahavishnu said, then I was expecting you, you know. And then he said, I know what you have come here for. And he released the 10 children at that stage.
Right. Yeah.
We
will study that past time. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Yes,
Mahavishnu wanted to take darshan of Krishna.
That's it. He said, I was expecting you. I was waiting for you.
Right. Yeah. And that's why he did what he did.
In the penultimate chapter of Canto 10.
Canto 10, yeah, right. So we are far from it, but we will definitely read that.
Okay. I thought I just mentioned this.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Who else? Yeah, Gitanshu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
I have one question. Like, I just want to confirm it whether it is right or not. Like, I have heard this thing, like, we all were at the level of Brahma at the beginning of that.
We all were Brahmas.
We all were Brahma. Then we fall down because of our desires and because of other things. And then we just came here, and now we are after exploring almost every loka, and we are just going towards Lord Krishna itself. So is this right?
Yeah. So I had heard this, but then I got that as a quote from His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. So that is confirmed that we all, when we fell from the spiritual sky to the material sky, we all became Brahmas. Why? Because in the spiritual world we were transcendental. And when transcendental person, if they fall, they will fall into mode of goodness. And that is Lord Brahma. Mode of goodness or mode of passion in the beginning, right? So we all became Brahma because we wanted to please Krishna independently. And then from there was a fall down. And then we are in this material world since that time.
Prabhu, this is in Uddhav Gita as well, Canto 11.
Canto 11, right. Thank you for letting us know. Okay, is that clear, Gitanshu Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, yes. Abhishek Vedi Prabhu, long time. Hare Krishna. Do you have any question or will you raise the hand by mistake?
Thank you. My question was related to, I think I got confused between the three Vishnu. You initially mentioned that the first is Bhagavan Krishna, then Mahavishnu, which is also part of the Sky Vishnu. Then you said the other one is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then you said from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Brahmaji came out of lotus. So I got confused. Where were Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu?
So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu is an expansion of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu and Mahavishnu, they are the same people. They are just expanding themselves. Okay? And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he gives birth to Lord Brahma. And then Lord Brahma creates everything, but then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he further expands himself. So understand, there are three tattva, okay? Three tattva. The first is Narayan tattva. Narayan tattva means God. The second is Shakti tattva. Shakti tattva means the energy. One is spiritual energy, one is material energy. The spiritual energy is Subhadra Devi. And the material energy is Mother Durga. Don't go too much into it, you will be confused. I'm just telling you. And the third energy is us. That is the Jiva Tattva or the Tatastha Shakti. Okay? Now, when Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands as Jiva Tattva, then he expands as Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is also Jeev. Okay? And then Lord Brahma, he creates everything that is secondary creation. All the Jeev, the plants, the trees, the rocks, the mountains and everything. Okay? But Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu then further expands in the Narayan Tattva. Understood? So there are two expansions that he did. The first one was the Jiva Tattva when he expanded as Brahma. And now he's expanding as Narayan Tattva as Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vishnu is on the God platform, and Brahma and all of us are on the Jeev platform. Does that help, Prabhu?
Yes, it helps. And I had a question also with that. So there are other names which people use, which is Bhagavan Hari, and then Bhagavan Narayan, and Bhagavan Ram. Where do they lie? Or they're all
Bhagavan Krishna. They're all expansion of Bhagavan Krishna. Lord Ram is in Saket Dham, in Vaikuntha. So in Vaikuntha planets, there is a planet called Saket Dham, where Lord Ram resides. Okay. Then Hari, Vishnu or Narayan, they are all Mahavishnu. They are all, when Mool Sankarshan expands into Mahasankarshan, so they are all the same. Narayan and Mahasankarshan are same. Okay. Hari, Mahasankarshan, Vishnu, they are all one person, Prabhu. Okay. Ram, Krishna, Hari, Vishnu, they are all, it's not like they are two different people. Like I said, I am a brother, I am a husband, I am a son, I am an employee, I am a devotee, I am a disciple. I am the same person. I'm just assuming different roles. So similarly, these are all Krishna. One person only who is assuming different roles based on their Leela. Okay? When he has to take just one Patni Vrat, he becomes Ram. When he has to teach us Maryada, he becomes Ram. It's the same Krishna. When he has to teach us Madhurya Ras, he becomes Krishna. When he has to teach us, when he has to show his angry form, he becomes Narsimha. When he has to take care of this whole material cosmos, he becomes Mahavishnu. Okay, so it's the same person, Prabhu.
Understandable. Thank you. There's one last question. Is
Yes,
that but Brahmaji, he is a G. He's not God, right?
So one secret I will tell you, which will clarify many doubts. Very few people know this, that there are two Brahmas. Okay? One is Jiva Brahma. The Brahma that we speak about is actually Jiva Brahma, but there are two Brahmas. One is God Brahma, one is Narayan Tattva as well, who is Brahma. And then one is Jiva Brahma. Okay? We will study all these, as I said, when we study the 5th canto of creation, we are going to study this in detail. But for now, just understand that when Lord Brahma is being spoken about, the Jiva Brahma is being spoken about. Jiva. The Brahma who dies in 100 years. 300 trillion, 11 trillion and 40 billion years is his lifespan. Okay? But he is Jiva, as you said. Yeah.
So the word that we use, Bhagavan Brahma, or Bhagavan Vishnu, or Bhagavan Shiv,
yeah. I don't know if they know this. I don't think that they know when they say Bhagavan Brahma, Bhagavan Vishnu, Bhagavan Mahesh. But that Brahma is actually not Jeev. That is Narayan Tattva. For instance, Mahesh or Lord Shiva is Sadashiv Tattva. That also people don't know. That Shiv is one of the Rudra that is coming from Shambhu platform. So we will cover all these things, Prabhu, okay? But, yeah, Hare Krishna, yeah, okay.
Actually,
yes.
Prabhuji,
are you sure you will add something else?
Probably, you tell me.
Okay, tell. Say.
So, in the Bhagavatam, it is also mentioned, and Srila Prabhupada mentions this, that so sometimes the devotees of the Lord are also called Bhagavan, because sometimes the Bhagavatam also mentions that Bhagavan Narad and Bhagavan Shiv. So, and Srila Prabhupada explains this as that sometimes the great devotees like Narad Muni and Lord Shiva.
Shukdev Goswami also has been mentioned as Bhagavan.
And Shukdev Goswami, they are mentioned as Bhagavan because you can take this example that let's say there is orange juice. So, let's say there is a glass of orange juice and there is a bottle of orange juice. So if you say bring orange juice, so you mean bring the glass of orange juice. So the orange juice is the more important thing and the glass is the less important thing. So when there is a devotee like Narad Muni, let's say, so they only have Bhagavan in them. So they are, due to their devotion, it's not that they are merged into Bhagwan, but due to their devotion, the more important thing in them is Bhagwan residing in their hearts. So, and they're completely filled with only Bhagwan and no material thoughts. So that's why sometimes great devotees are also called Bhagwan, even in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So that is also something.
Right. So another, yeah. So yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. That was new. And to add on to that is that I've told before this thing that in our hearts we have Shridakshay Vishnu, okay, who is the plenary portion of Krishna. He is Krishna, but he is a portion of Krishna. He is an extension Shukdev residing inside their heart. And that is the difference. That is why they are all Mukta Jeev. They are Nitya Siddha. And we are all Baddha Jeev. Okay? That is another topic, but yeah, because Prabhuji said. So yeah, but nice example. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, Tanush Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Can I?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Ankur Prabhu, let's wait for this question and then.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Start of
Yeah,
the
yes.
class.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, in the start of the class, you mentioned that when we devotees are sad, Krishna becomes also sad. And on that note, today you sent a YouTube short of Amok Leela Prabhuji, in which you mentioned that we should observe Virha Bhav. So that would make us sad. Then wouldn't that also make Krishna sad?
The Virha Bhav.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, this Virha Bhav actually is very comforting. Virha means conflicting. Okay. It's like that I am away from someone, but I am not away from them. Like the gopis and Krishna. So they were separated, but they were never separated. They were always in hearts of each other. But yeah, on the material plane, it is very painful, this Virha Bhav, because then you get separated. But the love magnifies when you get separated. When two people live with each other, then it becomes monotonous after some time. But when they take a break, goes out for a vacation, whatever it could be. So the love, it appears very painful, but it is actually very comforting inside the heart. Okay, Prabhu?
Okay, got it, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Another question I had, Prabhuji, was from the last class. Prabhuji, you mentioned in the last class that Srila Prabhupada avoided to express emotions. He avoided to cry in public.
Yeah, right.
And why is that, Prabhuji? I would like to understand.
Yeah, it's because that first and foremost, we have to understand the philosophy, Prabhu. Okay? Philosophy is very important. So that is called Raganuga Bhakti, when there is complete emotion. Okay? And Bhav, Mahabhav stage. Sukdev Goswami was in the Mahabhav stage. He was Nirgranta Urukrume, meaning that he was completely on the Mahabhav stage. But still, Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days to live. He could have just started with the 10th canto, isn't it? The pastimes of Lord Krishna. But what did he do? He started from the philosophy. The first 2 cantos of Bhagavatam are complete philosophy. From the 3rd canto, the pastime starts, where Vidur and Maitri Samvad goes on. The conversation between Vidur and Maitri goes on. And then there is complete stories. Why? Because first we need to understand the philosophy. And this preaching movement of Mahaprabhu is to understand the philosophy actually. Because if we don't know the philosophy, if I and you don't know the philosophy, we would have been discussing that, you know what, I am eating meat, I am doing all the things. And then when I sleep, Krishna comes in my dream.
Or when I see some girl, I see Radharani in that girl, no matter who they are or whatever it is. So this is all called Sahajiya Panti. Sahaj means independent thinking. Whatever I think is right, I will go and make reels in Vrindavan and then I will give it a name of bhakti, or I will do all nonsensical things and I will term it bhakti because I don't know the philosophy. So that is why the focus was on complete philosophy. And what happens is, this is called Vaidehi Bhakti. Vaidehi Bhakti means you follow all the rules and regulations, you understand the philosophy, and now after following Vaidehi Bhakti and after following all the rules and regulations and getting the philosophy, now when you come to the Raganuga Bhakti, that will be natural. Today if I cry, I don't know if that is natural. Maybe I saw some movie and that is why I am dreaming something or I am crying. But after understanding the philosophy and practicing Krishna consciousness for a considerable amount of time, then when I have Nayanam Gadashru Dharaya Vadanam Gadagadurthaya Gira, then I know that that is natural. And that is why Prabhupada never advocated all these showing off symptoms. Because when you are actually in that Mahabhav state, you cannot control it even. Right? So you will just cut off from the society. But our movement is to bring the people of the society to this Krishna consciousness, the people who are materially inflicted. Does that make sense, Prabhu?
Yes, definitely, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay, very well. Yes, Chaitanya Prabhu, do you have a question?
Yes, Prabhuji. So I had this question. So it's very confusing actually. So from what I understand, Karan Daksha Vishnu. So the whole universe is, when the breathing of Karan Daksha Vishnu happens, the whole universes appear in the pores of Karan Daksha Vishnu. And in the eyes of Karan Daksha Vishnu, so the time and
Jeev,
time and Jeev, they impregnate the Maya, Mahamaya. And so then, so how do the Jeev enter the Garbhodaksha, like each of the pores? Maybe it's
so it's very simple, Prabhuji. From each of the pores, there is a universe that
there
comes
is
out.
Garbhodaksha Vishnu and Lord Brahma. Yes.
Understand like this. So from this body, okay, from each of the pores, there is a universe that has come out and all the universes are floating in the air. Okay. Now within each universe, the Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Okay. So understand it like have you studied neural network?
Yes.
So something like that. It's complex, but like that there is a base server. Okay. Understand like this. There is a base server and that server is connected to many servers. So there is a connection. So from this Mahavishnu, there is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Okay. So everything that is being spoken about, that there are two rays that is going. So it's not that this is being visible. Like I told you that this Shishumar, the diameter of this world is not visible. There is an axis. And on that axis, everything, that is an imaginary line. But that is true. Imaginary as in that exists. But we cannot see that. It is very subtle. Similarly, all these things that's happening is very subtle. It's not that you will see all these things happening. Okay. So he expands as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and then Garbhodaksha Vishnu gives birth to Lord Brahma. And when Lord Brahma is creating everything, okay, now when he says that, okay, I have created the structure, now what? So when we make vegetable, first what we do is we make the masala, isn't it? Then we are chopping the vegetables and now we say that fine, the masala is ready, now you throw in the vegetables. So similarly, the structure has been readied by Brahmaji, and then the Jeev and the Kal enters that structure. Is that better?
Actually, I got more confused. So wait, one more question then. So then one more question is that, So Lord Brahma doesn't create everyone at the same time, no? Lord Brahma creates the 4 Kumars, and then Lord Brahma creates the...
Yeah, right.
Then they ask, Lord Brahma has to increase population. So that is what is happening. So, like, all the Jeeves are not created at the same time, no?
Not at the same time, yes, right.
So, how do you say that the structure thing? So, structure thing doesn't, like...
So, when I say that...
Makes sense.
Okay. Structure thing, when I say, Prabhuji, so let's say you made the dough. Okay? Aata gud diya aapne. Now, it's up to you whether I have to make paratha, triangle, whether I have to make a goal roti, whether I have to make the map of India, whether I have to make something. Understood? So what is happening is that Lord Brahma has assembled everything, the planets and everything has been assembled. Now the next step is that the Jeev has to enter those planets. Now slowly, one after one, the Jivas are getting activated. Understood?
Okay.
Yeah. So first you made the building of your company. Okay. Then the next step is that you made cabins. Then the next step is that you ordered table, chair. Then the next step is that you got the laptops for everyone. And now you started the recruitment process. You hired the HR. Then they will recruit the people. And then they will come to work. Okay. So it's not just, it's an ongoing process. Isn't it?
So when the pralay happens, so when the day of Brahma gets over, then where do we go? Then do we go to Garbhodaksha Vishnu or again
Mahavishnu.
And when the universe is destroyed, again we go to Mahavishnu until the next universe is created.
Yes. Yeah. So we all go to the body of Mahavishnu, and that is Mahatattva. That is a portion in the spiritual sky. Okay?
Sort of makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I'll get more confused than after thinking.
We will all get confused actually, because this is confusing. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaya. It is not easy to understand Krishna. But let's try. This is all knowledge. This is very interesting. But we should not actually, we should pay focus on all these things, try to understand. But our end goal should be to go back to Godhead, whether we understand this or no. Okay.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, बस एक फ्लो चार्ट बना दीजिएगा एक पॉसिबल आपके पास टाइम मिले थोड़ा सा, तो क्योंकि थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग हो जाता है, वो स्टडी बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाता है।
वो मंदिर में जब हम लोग करेंगे देन वी विल डू एवरीथिंग, ठीक है?
हाँ,
तो वहां पे यू कैन टेक द फ्लो चार्ट।
ठीक है हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु जी।
हाँ, हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, लाइन से चलें क्या?
Can I come in now? Oh, no, not.
Okay, Ankut Prabhu, first you, then Giriraj Prabhu, Subhashmit Mataji, then Prabhuji. Yes, Ankut Prabhu.
Is what Chaitanya was talking about. Where Mahavishnu is the one who produces the planets, and Garbhodakasaya Vishnu is the one who enters this planet to keep them afloat.
Mahavishnu, one correction. Mahavishnu creates the universes, not the planets. Universes.
Then Garbhodakasaya Vishnu enters the planets to keep them afloat, others will fall down. If I marble in my hand, if I drop it, it will fall.
Right.
And the third thing is, consider that Kasaya Vishnu is the one who is Paramatma that enters all the living souls. These are three sort of divisions, but just in a simplified version.
Yeah, he is confused about the sequence of the creation.
But
we'll get there when we start. So don't think we are going too ahead actually. We have to reach 5th canto first to understand this in detail. There is so many mind-blowing things. So don't just jump. I'm telling this to Chaitanya Prabhu. That we will get there. Don't worry.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Yes, Giriraj Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. So I had one realization to share. So actually yesterday I was studying Ishopanishad where Srila Prabhupada said was comparing this world with a nariyal, with a coconut. He was saying just like a coconut, it is covered from outside and half filled with water. So we need sun and moon for light. So I was thinking, okay, I understand the covering is Mahatattva. So what is this half filled water? So today I came to know that it's Garbhodakosha.
Garbhoda quotient. Yes. So it's Karunada quotient, and that's Garbhoda quotient, and then there is Shirada quotient as well. Yeah. So again, don't be confused. But when the demigods, when they have to speak with Vishnu, they go to Shir Sagar. अभी आपने अगर टीवी सीरीज भी देखा है तो you must have seen everyone goes to the Shir Sagar because Shir Sagar is the ocean of milk, Shir, and then there Shiradak Vishnu, the Paramatma feature, he is residing there as a personification, and Lord Brahma along with Lord Vishnu and all the demigods, they when they say Trahi Trahi, save us, there is this calamity, they go to Shiradak Sagar. Okay, so yeah. Very good. Okay, next Subhashmita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a very simple question. In Trinity, like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, then which the Vishnu refers to which Vishnu among all these three Vishnus? Like
Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu. Yeah.
And last question, like like Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Shirodaksha Vishnu, all are three, means like three are same, one person Krishna, but they are performing different duties. So coming to Krishna can be realized in three forms, like in continuation to Raman Mataji question, Brahmin, Bhagavan, and Paramatma. Although they are same, then why two means why they have mentioned two names? What's the significance of maintaining two different names, Bhagavan and Paramatma?
Bhagavan and Paramatma are two different things, Mataji. So if I don't believe in the form of Krishna, okay, so I will worship the Brahman feature of him. Okay, I will say that he is just a light, he has no form, he has no shape, and then I will worship him. For instance, the Muslims worship Allah, and they say that he has no form, isn't it? He is just, he cannot be defined, he has no form. So that is Nirvisheshvadi, Shunyavadi. Okay. Then there are the Jnanis and the Yogis. The Jnanis and the Yogis, they only meditate on the Paramatma who is sitting inside the heart. So their end result is to get the knowledge. Jnani, they want all the Jnana. Like we are discussing this Jnana. What happened? What was the sequence? What after this? What before that? How did Krishna came? Who is the father and mother of Krishna? Who is Nandan, or who is Paramatma Krishna? So all these things, they are interested only in that. And then Bhagavan is, they don't care about anything, it's only love. The gopis, Mother Yashoda, they don't care if his Krishna is God or no. It's just love. And that is where the devotees category falls. They don't want anything. Mahaprabhu said, I don't want anything. I just want to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's all. Murkha Ami. I have no knowledge. Okay. So that is why, as per our inclination, Krishna manifests in different features. For instance, Uddhav. Okay. Uddhav was a Jnani. Uddhav could not understand the bhav of Krishna. Why is Krishna crying for the gopis? If Krishna is God, he is all renunciate. Why is he crying? His thinking capacity could not go as a bhakta. He was only thinking as a Jnani. But when he met the gopis, then he becomes a devotee. Now he comes to the platform of love. So as per our inclination, we can reach him in different aspects.
It means in simple language we can understand like Bhagavan means Bhakti Marg and Paramatma like Jnana Marg.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Akash Prabhu. You are on mute, Prabhuji. If you are trying to ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Before you ask question, tell me one thing, that are you progressing spiritually with all the answers? Chanting बढ़ रही है कि नहीं बढ़ रही है कि वहीं रुके हुए हैं आप?
Prabhuji, वो मेरे Prabhu knows I am under his shelter.
Very nice. ठीक है. तो chanting चल रही है ना?
जी Prabhuji.
चलो ठीक है. Nice. Yes, ask the question now.
So, Prabhuji, can you tell हिंदी वाले हैं ना सर यहाँ पे?
नहीं, इंग्लिश में कंटिन्यू कीजिए.
Okay. So can you tell like a very simple way to preach to a person who is in Vedant Sutra line, basically?
Okay.
Like, just to give the crux, not just about Krishna consciousness, but in general, like, how should he proceed in his life?
जब someone is already in one line, तो वो तो वहां से शिक्षा ले ही रहे हैं ना. तो आप क्या चाहते हैं कि you should transform them to Krishna conscious person? Is that what you're trying to ask?
या लाइक जो सबसे बेस्ट है वो थोड़ा सा मतलब समझाने में आसानी हो जाए, बेसिकली टू मेक हिम अंडरस्टैंड.
So first you have to understand that how far they are into that philosophy. पहले तो वो समझना पड़ेगा ना कि वो कितना घुसे हुए हैं उस फिलोसफी में, कितना वो फॉलो करते हैं उस चीज को. पहले जब आप वो समझेंगे, फिर उसके बाद तब तो आप उनको बता पाएंगे कि भाई रियलिटी क्या है क्या नहीं है. या फिर इट्स सिंपल, ठीक है, कि आप लेट्स से आपको यहाँ से यूके जाना है. ओके, अब आप यहाँ से यूके फ्लाइट से जा सकते हैं, आप यहाँ से यूके शिप से जा सकते हैं, आप यहाँ से यूके तैर के भी जा सकते हैं, आप यहाँ से यूके, अब मुझे पता नहीं है अगर पानी और हवाई जहाज है सिर्फ, तब तो आप साइकिल और कार से नहीं जा सकते हैं. बट या यू हैव दीज चॉइसेस. सो नाउ यू हैव टू चेक विद देम कि आर दे कंफर्टेबल कि मैं तैर कर जाऊं वहां पर, आर दे कंफर्टेबल कि मैं उड़ के जाऊं, या फिर कैसे जाऊं मैं वहां पे. इन द एंड जाना तो सबने वहीं पर है. बस ये चीज क्लियर होनी चाहिए कि एंड गोल क्या है किसी का. आप किसी भी स्कूल ऑफ थॉट में क्या कहाँ चाहते. अगर कोई बोले कि भाई तुम मुझे कुछ भी पढ़ा लो, मुझे तो कैलाश ही जाना है शिव जी के पास, तो फिर मैं क्यों मेरा सर फोड़ूं कि भाई तुम गोलोक वृंदावन जाओ. तुमको जब कैलाश ही जाना है तो तुम कैलाश जाओ, खुश रहो वहां पे. मुझे तो स्वर्ग ही जाना है, तुम कितना भी बोल दो मुझे स्वर्ग ही जाना है, तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं. तो पहले हम उनको बता सकते हैं प्रभु जी जिनको पता नहीं है कहाँ जाना है, जिन्होंने पहले से तय कर लिया है कि यहीं जाना है. तो यू कैन नॉट चेंज अनलेस दे वांट टू बी चेंज्ड. ठीक है.
प्रभु बेसिकली जो भी है वो मतलब अमेरिकन, लेटिन अमेरिकन है. तो अभी मतलब अभी क्लास में ज्वाइन करने से पहले मैं उन्हीं के साथ में था, तो वो मतलब थोड़ा इसी के बारे में जानना चाहते थे मेरे से. थोड़ा बोल रहे थे कि मेरे को समझाओ कि मतलब ये हिंदुइज्म में क्या है, सब क्या है. मतलब बेसिकली उनका जो टकराव है वो थोड़ा शिव जी से हुआ है, मतलब दैट वेदांत
सबका उधर ही होता है. हाँ राइट
जी. तो उनको कुछ ज्यादा पता नहीं है, दे आर लर्निंग. तो मुझे समझ नहीं है कि मैं क्या बताऊं. मैं क्या बताने की तो बहुत कुछ है, बट कहते हैं कि
आपको शिव जी के बारे में आप बताओ उनको कि शिव जी क्या है, बट इन द वैदिक वे. ठीक है, क्योंकि क्या होता है कि जो शिव जी के उपासक हैं अभी वो वेद शास्त्रों को नहीं पढ़ते हैं. ओके, और ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, क्योंकि श्राप मिला है. जब दक्ष प्रजापति का यज्ञ हुआ था वहां पे श्राप मिल गया था दोनों पक्ष को. ब्राह्मणों को भी श्राप मिला था कि आप लक्ष्मी विहीन हो जाएंगे, एंड जो शिव जी के गण थे उनको श्राप मिल गया था कि आप नास्तिक हो जाएंगे कलयुग में जाके. नास्तिक मतलब क्या, जो कि ग्रंथों पे विश्वास ना करें.